Hi, my name is Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. As you can probably tell from my background, I'm on the road and I'm in a hotel room with a very loud air conditioner that I can't turn off. But the grind never stops, and so today I want to talk to you about your marketing ROI. You see, ever since I announced our Ads for Artists program, this is the question that I got most often. Will I make back the money that I spent on marketing in product sales or streaming royalties? And also the comment I got most often goes something like this, and I heard a number of versions of it. I've tried Facebook advertising and I can't track any sales or streaming royalties from it. So today, I want to talk to you about your marketing ROI. Can you expect a return on your marketing investment? And if so, when? And I want to say expressly that this has nothing to do with our Ads for Artists program. I'm going to address your marketing ROI in general, regardless of where you spend your money and your efforts. So, what do you need to generate a marketing ROI? Well, in order for your marketing efforts to pay off, you need 4 things. You need a qualified audience, you need a way to track your results, you need to have something that people want, and you need time, patience, and persistence. Now, I'm going to address each one of these, what they are and how they impact your ROI in detail. I'll do the first 2 in this video, and then I'll address the last 2 in my next video, just mostly because I don't want these videos to run too long. So let's start by discussing the qualified audience. In order for your marketing message to work, it needs to, obviously, reach an audience. And not just any audience, but an audience that might be interested in you and in your music. Marketers like to call them a qualified audience. I like to call them suspects, as in, I suspect they might like my music if they hear it. So where do you find these suspects? It's actually not that hard. They are wherever people hang out who might like your music. For example, they'll be at your concerts. And if you open up for a bigger act, they will probably be there too. They might be among that band's, the headliner's fans. They are your social media followers, your mailing list subscribers. They are fans of fellow bands in your music scene, both online and, as the kids say nowadays, IRL, in real life. And they could be fans of other larger bands with a similar feel or vibe or style of music. And of course, they can be readers of blogs and magazines and fanzines in your genre. So are you catching my drift here? If you think about it creatively, you can find suspects who might like your music in any number of locations. Social media, in particular, allows you to very carefully create target audiences that are highly qualified by selecting other bands' fans and genre listeners and even geographic locations, which, by the way, is something that we do for you with our Ads for Artists program. The goal of your marketing efforts is to get your message in front of your qualified audience, to get them to see your name and hear your music. And then, hopefully, you'll get some of those people to do what you want them to do. Stream your song or your YouTube video, buy your CD, follow you on socials, like you on Spotify, subscribe to your YouTube channel, sign up for your mailing list. So I'm going to assume that you have the ability to find this qualified audience. Next, let's talk about requirement number 2 for measuring your marketing ROI. Tracking results. Clearly, in order to know your marketing ROI, you need to be able to measure your results. How do you do that? Well, to be honest, it's not always easy. The big ad platforms, Google, the Facebook, Instagram axis, Twitter, they all give you access to analytics that provide more data than you'll probably know what to do with. In fact, it's not just that messaging your results is not always easy. It's frequently almost impossible. And let me give you an example. Let's say you run ads on Facebook hoping to get people to watch your video on YouTube. And indeed, You see your YouTube plays go up gradually during your ad campaign. But how can you measure which YouTube plays came from your ad? You can probably measure how many in the YouTube analytics, but how can you measure which? You probably can't. And if some of those YouTube viewers now subscribe to your channel, how would you know? And if one of those subscribers ends up on your Bandcamp page and buys your CD, how on earth would you ever know? So here's the answer. As an amateur artist, you probably have no chance of tracking that sale of that CD back to the marketing dollars that you spent. Heck, even at Discmakers, where we have a whole team of professional marketers on the payroll and spend tens of thousands of dollars a month on marketing and can analyze Google and Facebook analytics and have implemented tracking pixels and assigned campaign source codes, even so, we can't attribute many of our sales to a specific marketing campaign that we ran. So, if we can't track it accurately, should we spend money on marketing? The answer is yes. At Discmakers, we always had the philosophy that all marketing works, good marketing just works better. And we try to measure as much as possible and to invest more of our marketing dollars in those campaigns that we can track to be performing well. And so should you. Just because tracking is hard doesn't mean you shouldn't try to track your results as carefully as possible. There's another big problem with tracking and generating an ROI in today's music marketing, and it's this. The way most music is consumed today, through streaming and YouTube, just doesn't pay. If you drive fans to a Spotify track or a YouTube video and get plays, that's good. You get visibility and the opportunity to have a new fan. But at a 0.4 cent royalty rate per stream for Spotify, or 0.06 cent for a YouTube view, if it monetizes at all, you will never get an immediate financial return for your marketing dollars. Let me rephrase this for clarity. If you send your target audience to a song on a streaming site or YouTube, you will pay more to get those fans to stream your song than you will generate in streaming royalties. Every time. There, I said it. It ain't a pretty truth, but like it or not, it's the reality in the current music industry. Does that mean that you shouldn't invest in marketing? Not at all. Every brand, whether it's a giant like Ford or Facebook, or a startup that you've never heard of, or you as an artist, you need to invest in marketing. Marketing drives new customers. In your case, marketing drives new fans. And like it or not, those fans have to be bought. Many startup companies lose money for years, mostly because of marketing and brand building expenses and because of R&D. It's the same thing for you as an artist. You need to invest in marketing to build your fan base, and you need to invest in R&D. Except your R&D is writing songs, recording, and releasing your music. All right, so that concludes the first two things that you need to track your marketing ROI: the target audience and a way to track your results. Next week, I'm going to risk making myself unpopular with my thoughts on the remaining two things that you need, which is something that people want, and time, patience, and perseverance. I hope you'll join me then.